The host of Netflix's How to Get Rich wrote a book back in 2009 entitled I Will Make You Rich, in which he discusses how a friend of his got ripped off by a quote-unquote financial advisor. Take a listen to what he says. Years ago, my friend Joe emailed me asking me to take a look at his investments. He suspected he was being taken for a ride by his financial advisor. Within 5 minutes of talking to him, I knew he was in a bad situation. Joe is a young entrepreneur with high earnings, so this advisor figured he was a meal ticket for the next 4 decades. I told him the following, Ramit says, there are certain keywords that are major red flags when it comes to investing, including whole life insurance, annuities, and Primerica. Any of those words means, at best, you're almost certainly overpaying, and at worst, you're being scammed. Now, don't get me wrong, when it comes to Ramit Sethi, it's not all bad. I like his emphasis in his book and Netflix documentary on spending money on the types of things that bring you the most meaning in life. That makes a lot of sense. But when it comes to understanding insurance products, he makes sweeping condemnations with little or no evidence to support his case. In this instance, he maligns 2 financial tools that academics have been studying for years and for which there are mountains of supporting data with a blithe 2-sentence paragraph. In doing so, he falls into the same one-size-fits-all, paint everything with the same broad-brush financial planning advice camp as Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman. Which brings me to one of the main points I hope to drive home today. You must be cautious about financial gurus who are catering to a massive audience. They simply don't have the luxury of nuanced explanations when it comes to financial tools for which there are a broad array of applications. They must package their message in a way that's easily digestible and that can be reduced to a simple mantra like annuities are bad or only get term insurance. If I had a chance to sit down and chat with Ramit, I might ask him why, for example, are annuities bad? Are all annuities bad? How about variable, fixed index, and single premium immediate annuities? And if they're all bad, why? And finally, what do you make of the mountains of studies from academia that make the mathematical case that annuities improve investor outcomes in retirement? For example, I'm almost certain that Ramit Sethi isn't familiar with Professor Robert Shiller out of Yale, who recently affirmed that bonds are not the best solution when it comes to managing risk in retirement. Professor Shiller analyzed 10-year returns for stocks, bonds, and fixed index annuities linked to the Shiller-Barclays CAPE U.S. Sector USD Index, a smart beta index that incorporated Professor Shiller's value investment philosophies. His simulations uncovered 4 startling truths. First, in every 10-year period, a fixed index annuity outperformed bonds. All this without taking any more market risk than what you might be accustomed to taking in your savings account. Second, the long-term nature of fixed index annuities constrains irrational investor behaviors. In other words, the surrender charges in the annuity actually force the investor to stay invested in the fixed index annuity, which prevents them from succumbing to emotion-driven investing decisions. Third, by providing a principal guarantee and market participation, fixed index annuities offer a unique risk-reward profile. When you link the growth of the account to the upward movement of a stock market index, while guaranteeing against loss, you can actually increase the return on the portfolio, eliminate the risk, and lower the overall standard deviation of the entire portfolio. And fourth, in simulations, fixed index annuities returns were less correlated to the broader economy than stocks or bonds, offering a potential diversification benefit. In other words, fixed index annuities are like an asset class unto themselves. They seem to march to the beat of their own drum, which helps further diversify your portfolio. I'm likewise certain that Ramit Sethi isn't familiar with the work of Dr. Roger Ibbotson, also from Yale, who ran hypothetical return simulations from 1927 to 2016 and found that fixed index annuities had an annualized return of 5.81% compared to 5.32% for long-term government bonds and 9.92% for large cap stocks over that period. Keep in mind, this includes periods of both rising and falling bond yields. Dr. Ibbotson also determined that the maximum annualized return for a 3-year holding period of the FIA was 27.56% versus 30.76% for large cap stocks and 23.3% for long-term government bonds. The minimum annualized 3-year return of the FIA was 0 compared with a 27% loss for large cap stocks and 2.32% loss for long-term government bonds. In other words, if you were to reach into your retirement portfolio, remove the bonds and replace them with a fixed index annuity, you would increase your returns while safeguarding that portion of your portfolio against loss. All right, now that we've exposed Ramit's superficial understanding of annuities, let me touch briefly on his opposition to cash value life insurance. Did you know that cash value life insurance in the form of whole life insurance, or better yet, index universal life, has several unique applications in retirement that can dramatically increase the likelihood that your savings will last through life expectancy? Consider the first application. Did you know that similar to annuities, if you reach into your portfolio and remove the bonds and replace them with cash value life insurance, you'll increase your return, lower your risk, lower the standard deviation of your entire portfolio, and experience a better outcome over time? Next, did you know that if you accumulate 3 to 4 years of living expenses within your cash value life insurance policy, something very interesting happens to your sustainable distribution rate in retirement? If you've ever heard of the 4% rule, you know that it says that if you have a 60-40 stock bond mix, the most you can take from your portfolio and maintain a high likelihood of not running out of money before you die is 4% per year, adjusted for inflation. So if you have $1 million saved by day one of retirement, you can only hope to withdraw $40,000 per year with a cost of living adjustment every year thereafter. The reason that number is so low is because you'll have to rely on that portfolio even during years following a down year in the market. However, by drawing money from your cash value life insurance policy in a year following a down year in the market, your retirement portfolio has a chance to recover before you take further distributions. This act alone can increase your sustainable withdrawal rate as high as 8%. In other words, by using cash value life insurance, you can vanquish the 4% rule from your retirement picture and as much as double your distribution rate. But this is not the type of analysis you could ever hope to receive from a guru who dedicates one dismissive paragraph to cash value life insurance. Finally, did you know that most cash value life insurance companies allow you to receive your death benefit in advance of your death for the purpose of paying for long-term care? Why would you want to consider mitigating the long-term care risk in this way? Well, consider the traditional approach to long-term care insurance. First of all, it's incredibly expensive and getting more expensive all the time. Next, it's hard to qualify. You might live to be 120, but if you have a bad back, a bad hip, a bad knee, you may not even get accepted. And if you die peacefully in your sleep 30 years from now, never having needed it, they don't send you your money back at the end. That could be a source of heartburn for a lot of different people because nobody wants to pay for something they hope they never have to use. With cash value life insurance, you could contribute money for 30 years, die peacefully in your sleep, never having needed long-term care, and someone's still getting a death benefit, probably your kids or grandkids. So there isn't that sensation of having paid for something you hope you never have to use. Ramit Sethi is a lot of things, but given the superficial treatment he gives life insurance and annuities in his book, an insurance expert he is not. It just isn't feasible for him to understand the nuance of all the products and their various permutations given his penchant for reducing complicated financial planning principles to simple mantras. You want to know what is easy though? Crafting a superficial, one-size-fits-all financial strategy fit for the masses, which is long on pithy one-liners and short on details. So, what's the moral of the story here? If you've done a good job saving money, don't take your advice from financial gurus who are dispensing one-size-fits-all financial planning advice on Netflix. They will invariably give short shrift to important financial tools that could make the difference between you running out of money before you die or having enough money to last through life expectancy. If you're not one of those Americans who's making $50,000 per year and spending $60,000 per year, there's a good chance you need a customized financial plan that you can't get from a one-size-fits-all financial planning book or a Netflix documentary. Be thoughtful about your approach to retirement and, if necessary, engage a financial advisor who can shepherd you through the important planning decisions that can ultimately make or break your retirement. If you want to learn more about how to wring the most out of your retirement savings, be sure to check out my tax-free toolkit. You can download it for free at taxfreetoolkit.com. If you're a financial professional and want to learn how to become a certified Powers Year advisor, head over to powersyear.com and opt into my free 3-part video series. By the way, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them into the comment section below. I respond to every single one of them personally. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the bell so you never miss a video. This is David McKnight. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.